But this is something incredible. The Chinese have advanced decades ahead. I think they've really pulled ahead in industry. That's a cool solution. Look at this big glass sash. There's also an option where the entire width has a full adhesive layer. Here, the thermal break is probably about 80 millimeters. The handles are great. They're stainless, all in the same design. You insert it like this at a 90-degree angle, and you turn it. It's an awesome thing. There are no width restrictions, and you can assemble them in these kinds of sections. One section is as wide as the pleated panel allows. Hey everyone, we've come with you to China to a very large, famous exhibition dedicated to window technologies. It's called BAU. It's been called BAU since 2017, when the founders and organizers of the BAU exhibition in Munich, the largest window exhibition, bought a stake in the exhibition in China. And now it's also called BAU. And if in Munich it's 100%, then BAU in China covers about 70% of the window market. It's a very large exhibition. It's the largest exhibition in the Asian region dedicated to windows. We'll walk through all the booths. I'll film the very best, the most interesting things for you. So watch until the end. It's going to be really cool. Let's go. All right, guys, so we're in the first pavilion. Here we have hardware on display for aluminum windows, for PVC windows. This pavilion is all about hardware. Of course, there are well-known brands here like K&G and Kinlan, which are already present in the architectural market. These are good companies, good brands. I have nothing bad to say about them, but we won't be focusing on them. And honestly, there's also a lot of junk here that's not really interesting. So I'll try to pick out for you what I think might actually be interesting. Some unusual solutions, automation. I even saw some locks there. It's a cool solution. Look at this large glass sash. And these are the kinds of drives it uses. You can install up to 4 of them at most. The chain drives can lift up to 320 kilograms, somewhere around 320 to 350. But as you can see, for a long sash, there are 4 locking points. And it doesn't open fully, just enough for ventilation. For example, in a glass roof, I've had such requests before. If you want to make a large glass panel like that, this drive is quite powerful. 320 kilograms is a lot. And in addition, they have these kinds of drives as well. These are rod-type drives, but you can't install 4 of them. They are only mounted on the sides. The maximum weight is 400, but they can make it up to 500 kilograms, meaning 250 per side, and it opens up to 70 degrees. So in principle, you could even consider it as an exit to the roof. Of course, it's not 90 degrees, but it opens quite a lot. It's kind of like a skylight, a glass roof with an exit. It's actually worth considering. Maybe they can even make it open more than 70 degrees. We need to talk to them about it. But overall, it's a pretty cool solution, especially for this kind of automatic lifting mechanism for large sizes. Right now, we're near the K&J hardware stands. We're currently using it and offering it to our clients. I believe that at the moment, among Chinese hardware on the Russian market, this is the best one. There will be more. I'll shoot another video for you later when I visit the factory. Basically, this is pretty confidential information. You'll find out in the next video. I think there will be another really great hardware option on the Russian market very soon. Right now, K&G's hardware is quite good. Let's go in and see what we have there, what options are available. I asked a question about the push handle set because K&G has a great handle design. It's called Master, I think. Master, yes, that's the design. We use it. It looks a lot like the Schuco handle. All the clients like it. And the handle design is the same for windows, sliding doors, and regular doors. And we had a problem that here the center-to-center distance is 85 millimeters, apparently according to Chinese standards. But our locks are 92. And we couldn't use these push handle sets. But the guys told us that soon there will be a split push handle set available, not a solid one, but a split one. Then it turns out we'll be able to use it. And that's really great. We're looking forward to it. Because right now we have to get everything from K&G and pick push handle sets from other manufacturers that only somewhat match the design, and clients really don't like that. Will there be solutions so that not only this mechanism is a black gearbox, but also all the corner ones are black and switchable too? But black hardware, are you not planning anything like that?
Honestly, no. Last year we sold over 100,000 sets and we've only just started getting a few requests, just a few.
So right now you sell 100,000 sets a year on the Russian market, and it's still growing. European brands are leaving and K&J is clearly on top right now. Currently, all the Russian representatives who supply K&J hardware to the Russian market in general promised me to make some technical improvements. What I mentioned is a push handle set, a rebate lock, and child safety hardware. There will be a handle with a key because right now there isn't really a proper solution for locking, only for tilting. But as for blocking the opening, there still isn't a good solution. And there will be a handle with a key. But honestly, it's really cool. The hardware is great. No complaints. There are some nuances like the fact that it's not black. But overall, we use it and apply it. We can recommend it. By the way, this is actually our favorite handle design, the Master. This is what it looks like. It's black. This is the one we mainly use. And this design is used for windows without a reducer, just like this. Really nice. The same design is available for sliding doors and for regular doors, but for doors right now the spindle size doesn't fit, so we're waiting for a separate version. I found some pretty good hardware. Here are stainless steel handles. Basically, they also have tilt and turn sets. I didn't really like the hardware itself. It's rated for 100 kilograms, but the handles are great and they're stainless steel, all in the same design. For example, this handle is for a lift and slide door. And the shell on the outside, it's all stainless steel. Stainless steel actually looks really cool. Then there's this push handle set for doors, for regular entrance or swing doors with a cover plate. It's also all stainless steel, as you can see, in the same design. And here's a window handle also in the same design. And they have these kinds of designs too, thin ones. I'm not really a fan of those, but this one is pretty cool. And they actually have a whole bunch of handle options. There are ones with a small base plate. There are black ones too. That's black stainless steel. There are just plain stainless steel ones. There are ones without a base plate, without a reducer, also stainless steel handles. Honestly, it feels awesome in the hand. It's so solid stainless steel. Really cool. I don't know. I really like the design. I think these stainless steel handles are just super cool. We need to get their contacts and they should appear on our market. If the price is reasonable, customers will be very interested in having these kinds of stainless steel handles. Clients often ask me specifically for something that's not painted, not painted aluminum like we're used to, but something that's truly metal. And this looks just amazing, really awesome. Look at these vapor barrier tapes I found in China. I got their contacts, but they don't supply to Russia. We'll cooperate and see about the prices. Maybe we'll import these tapes because this is an interesting topic. It's an analog of Sudal. So this pink tape is the internal vapor barrier. Even the color is just like Sudal's. Maybe with a single adhesive strip right here. And this second, wider part might not have an adhesive layer and is attached with this kind of sealant. They have a special sealant for it. There's also an option where there's a full adhesive layer across the entire width. So this strip is adhesive, and here as well, there's a full adhesive layer like this. That's what they have. Of course, it's a bit more expensive, but it's more convenient because you don't need to apply sealant. You just stick it on and that's it. And the adhesion is actually very good. And this kind of white one is for exterior use, and it can be either white or black as well. These are the options. The exterior one is a waterproofing tape, which can also have an adhesive layer across the entire width, or just a strip, with the rest attached using sealant. They also have Piasul, and accordingly, you can apply it directly onto the sealant itself. They gave me catalogs, they gave me samples, little pieces of these films. So I'll send these to my installers, we'll take a look and give them a try. If we like them and if the price is good, which I'm sure it is because it's from China, so it's definitely going to be cheaper than the European ones. Right now we're using Stiz A, Stiz B, Kulda, sealants, and so on. The installers complain that constantly applying it takes a long time and so on. And the tapes that are available on the market, like Sodal or some Masonburg German ones, they're very expensive. And if there's a product that could replace sealants, but the tapes aren't like Robiband, but something of decent quality, that would be really great. And this topic really interested me. I'll definitely be looking into it. Let's see what the prices are. Maybe we'll buy a batch and start selling this product on the market. I mean, I really liked it, or at least order it for our own projects. So if anyone else is interested, write to me as well. Maybe we can work together, bring this product in and sell it on the Russian market. Right now, we're standing in front of a tool stand. These are Chinese tools, and it's a very large stand. There are actual demo samples here showing how they use these tools. The tools are really great, honestly. I checked them out. They're comparable to well-known brands like Milwaukee, even Hilti. My guys really love Milwaukee tools, but they're quite expensive. It's hard to get supplies right now. So this is going to be very interesting. I'll show you now what options they have here. And possibly these tools could be purchased for the Russian market without any issues. Installers, if you're watching and interested, please take a look at what's available here. A cordless screwdriver or drill. Here, I'm not sure, maybe a drill driver. There's this small compact screwdriver. Really cool. With a small battery. And there's this one more powerful. Here, there are 20-volt batteries available. Yes, very powerful ones. Here it is. This is kind of like an impact wrench, I guess. That's probably what it's called. This is a screwdriver. Honestly, I don't really understand tools that well because I don't do installations myself. But for those of you watching, guys, you'll probably get it and find it interesting what this is. This one too, I think, is an impact wrench. Well, it's pretty powerful. A rotary hammer. For some reason, they're drilling into a wooden beam with a rotary hammer here, which is odd. Well, it's fine, basically, yeah. All right, let's not take over the installer's territory. That's not my thing. Come on, I'll show you what's on the stand. Oh, by the way, this thing is really cool. These little attachments and this tool right here. My guys, the installers, I know they use it and really like it because in one of my videos when I was with them, they used these things to cut out a spot for a concealed door closer in a wooden floor. It vibrates like this, so you can very neatly cut out certain elements in wood or do things like dismantling frames, for example. Instead of hacking away with a saw, you just go like this, nice and easy, and that's it. Milwaukee has one of these. It's actually a really cool tool, pretty neat. Oh, look at this thing. As I understand it, this is for when you have a really small space, so your screwdriver can't fit in. So you stick it in at a 90-degree angle like this and turn it. Awesome thing. Really awesome. These guys did a great job. Look at how cool their toolboxes are. Branded floodlights, branded toolboxes, just like Milwaukee. Super, really well done. Vacuum cleaners. Professional construction grade ones. Some more toolboxes as well. Here's a battery-powered floodlight. Here's a more powerful rotary hammer. Now this is some proper equipment. This one is really powerful, a seriously heavy-duty machine. Well done. So what else do we have here? Some circular saws. Yeah, and more screwdrivers too. Angle grinders. I honestly have no idea what this is. It looks like some kind of milling cutter, you know, like for milling like this or something. If anyone knows what this tool is, let me know. I'm curious. These are pretty cool. Here's another one. Looks like some kind of handheld milling tool too. Unusual thing. Oh, now this is a great thing. A cordless gun for glue, sealant, for dispensing sausages. This is really something, especially for structural joints. When you need even pressure and a uniform seam, this is truly an indispensable tool. I don't know how much it costs, but it's a really awesome thing. So for those who work with structural glazing, this is really helpful. And then this, I don't know what this is. Is it maybe some kind of steamer or something? Or what is it? It's not clear, honestly. I also don't understand what this is. This is probably some kind of reciprocating saw, I think. You insert the saw here and it cuts something like this. That's a cool thing too. Here it is. There's a more powerful one, and this one's smaller in size. This one's really huge, yeah, for sure. It's called a reciprocating saw, I think, or something like that. My installers use this too. It's for cleaning out openings, blowing away dust and such. Also a great device, small. Instead of waving a broom or brush there, I quickly remove the dust. Very convenient. It's really a good tool. That is, I think that there are complete analogs of Milwaukee here. Everything that Milwaukee has, I think they have everything in their lineup without any problems. But this is a more serious device. It's probably time to clear the leaves, right? Or is there just more dust here? Well, in general, cordless tools like these, cordless circular saws, are very convenient and mobile. Cordless jigsaw, also pretty cool. I don't know about the quality, but honestly, it's top-notch. I'm not really an expert, but to me, the quality is just awesome. I can see that it's definitely not cheap, but I think it's definitely cheaper than Milwaukee. And I think it won't be any worse. It's quite powerful. 20 volts, these cordless ones. That's powerful, because usually they're 16 or 18. 20-volt ones are really powerful. This is some kind of like a floodlight, right? Like it's small and portable. Pretty cool, pretty cool. So seriously, if anyone needs it, let me know. I'll get their business cards, catalogs, find out all the prices, and I can send you the contacts. So write to me in the comments and I'll send it to you. Overall, the tool is cool. Let's move on. There are actually a lot of aluminum systems here. Some are good, some not so much. I didn't film everything for you because we already have quite a lot of systems represented as it is. I don't really see a big point in showing everything from their market, but there are some unusual options I wanted to show you. This stand here is huge. It's some kind of factory and they have a lot of different systems. Let's start with the simplest ones. Wood aluminum with wooden overlays. Here, accordingly, there's also wood aluminum in different designs. This is wood aluminum with some kind of huge thermal break, probably about 40 to 45 millimeters, very well insulated. This is already some kind of budget option with a small thermal break. Here's another series. This one comes with Mosquito screens. Here you get a small sash type Mosquito screen. Here we have just aluminum windows, and over there we'll see aluminum windows with really huge thermal breaks. Here the thermal break is probably about 45 to 50 millimeters, I think, roughly. This thermal break is absolutely massive, just look at it. I think it's about 60 millimeters. A very well insulated system. I was really impressed by how well insulated they are. If the price is reasonable, then it's actually pretty cool, because for some really demanding clients who want super warm windows, this is definitely something to consider. Honestly, I don't think bringing them in would be a problem. Keep watching. This is just, I don't know, the thermal break here must be about 80 millimeters. It's also foamed, some kind of unreal rubber. And look at this monster. See how much insulation there is and how huge the thermal breaks are. I've never seen anything like this before. This is a super well insulated window. I think a triple glazed unit would fit in here easily. You can install it with very large glazing units. It will be extremely well insulated. I can't even imagine what its specs are. If someone really needs a super warm window, I can get their contacts. So you can have things like this custom ordered from China. These guys really did a great job. They put in the effort. They made everything from the cheapest to some incredibly advanced insulated products. We also found some unusual guys, and they have different systems too. There are ones with a large thermal break with foam and so on. Even warmer, as they say, because they have a unique technology. You see, they put some kind of plastic casing on the inner chamber of the profile. And it can even be laminated to look like wood. Obviously, the aluminum profile still gets cold, but this plastic element, as I understand it, makes it feel better to the touch because you don't feel the metal. It's warm and pleasant to the touch from the inside, no matter how cold it is outside. And in general, they say that because of this, the Windows performance is better. I don't know. I've never seen anything like this before, honestly. I don't know how much it costs, but it's actually pretty cool. It's something worth considering. If it's not expensive, it would be interesting to try out these windows in actual use. You know, install them in a few projects, see if the clients like them or not, what their impressions are, and so on. It's unusual, really unusual. So it's kind of their own know-how. And they also have a range of different models. There are ones with small thermal breaks, with large ones, and so on. Here they have a demonstration sample. Steel strips are attached, and accordingly, they claim that this aluminum window here is at 18 degrees. But you can see condensation has formed. I think they didn't pick the warmest window for the demonstration, of course. It's a typical aluminum window, but it really feels cold to the touch. I think it's actually not very good. It shouldn't be this cold. Supposedly it's 18 degrees. In any case, yes, of course, no matter how warm the aluminum system is, it's still metal, and inside the room it will feel colder than other objects. That's a fact. And they made this kind of plastic casing. Of course, the sensor fell off there, but it seems like the temperature of this plastic part is 26 degrees, just like in the room, and it really is warm. So that's the point of their solution. The window feels warmer to the touch from the inside, and when you're next to it, you don't feel a draft of cold air. If you touch it, it's not cold, and so on. So that's really cool. Maybe solutions like this would even be great for bathhouses or saunas, where we're worried that metal might overheat and you could burn yourself on it. And actually, such solutions could be quite interesting there. We'll need to look into this further. So yeah, it's a cool thing. I like it. So there are also some interesting guys who make all sorts of roof hatches, retractable opening ones. Right behind us is a solution, maybe in a warm version. These things have drives, and there's even a mosquito net. So it opens up like this, up to a maximum of 75 degrees. Basically, you can even use it as an exit to the roof or just as a skylight, and it opens like this, and the mosquito nets automatically slides in on a drive, so it turns out to be a pretty cool thing. And I'll show you more. Look, they've done it nicely here too. You see, these elements also lift up on drives, but here the weight is not very large. If over there the weight is up to 250 kilograms, I think, here the weight is actually small because these are chain drives. And this is just an awesome product. Look at this. It's so big, and here they have some kind of pneumatic drives installed. They're very powerful and everything is automated. And this huge glass panel, here they can make it up to 3 tons in weight. So it can be really large in size, and it will rise like this for ventilation. So if you need large glass roofs and at the same time you want them to be ventilated, I've actually had such requests. This is truly an unusual solution. Really, it's very cool. It looks just impressive, in short. Mosquito systems, Chinese ones. On our market, there are some that aren't very large in size, which can be made. The ones that are large in size, we have Genius, Italian ones. I had a cool video review of them on my YouTube channel. Of course, they're awesome, but they cost as much as a good car. Of course, not everyone can afford them. Let's take a look at Chinese mosquito screens and see what this market has to offer us. We'll take their catalog and check the prices. Now I'll walk you through the booth and tell you about it. So look, this one is up to 3 meters in height. Small roll-up sliding systems. So not pleated, you see the fabric is smooth. So accordingly, it slides in like this. And here there's a small box, maybe about 70 by 70 millimeters, where the whole screen rolls up. They move quite well. In fact, they move very easily. In terms of durability, I'd say it's perfectly fine. The fabric is also pretty good. A decent option for up to 3 meters. But I'm interested in the 3.7 meter one. Can you imagine? That's really rare. Very few can make something at 3.7 meters. Here we have a kind of sliding system, meaning it's just a single piece of fabric that moves along the guides. Well, I don't know how relevant this solution is because usually everyone wants either pleated or roller types, but with a single piece of fabric it doesn't fold up, so it will always cover part of the opening. That means part of the glass will always have a mosquito net, which will constantly be exposed to environmental factors and so on. I don't know, let me know if any of you like this kind of solution. I think this won't be very popular. But these pleated ones I think are quite popular. Here they claim 3.7 meters. This is how the pleated system folds up. But I'll tell you this, the profile is really wobbly. I don't know how they're planning to handle 3.7 meters with this little one here. But this system here is more robust. Oh wow. Now that's real power. Here the profile is really thick. I don't know, probably about 4 centimeters thick. Very thick. As I understand it, it's a cassette type. Yeah, it's like a trail system. Xenius has this trail system where they fit into each other and it turns out like a little train or whatever you want to call it. Basically, you can cover very large openings with it. The height is 3.7 meters, and as far as I understand, there's no limit to the width. You can assemble them in sections like this. Each section is as wide as the pleated fabric can extend. I think that's about 2 meters, and you can connect these sections one after another, and it all folds together into one. This is basically an analog of Genius, seriously. So this is a cassette type mosquito net, where the frame is inserted and the net itself can be removed and stored away for the winter, then put back in during the summer. That means you can use it, take it off, wash it, or just put it away so it's not in the way. And the quality is really there. I can see that this is awesome. Honestly, this system is really cool. I'll have to ask them about it. Besides, I don't think it matters to them. You can bring 1, 2, or 3 from China. There's no need to buy in large quantities. But I really like these solutions. Some are really powerful and some are a bit simpler. But the fact that they can make them 37 meters high is definitely impressive. And here they've covered it with some kind of paper. I don't know why they did that. What's the point? Does anyone know about mosquito nets? I have no idea why they did this. It's not transparent at all. Maybe it's for some kind of barrier? Like to make some kind of partitions? Inside the building, I don't know. But they also have another mosquito net here. This one, a small window net on hinges with some kind of little handle. Well, what is this strange thing? It's like some kind of latch or something. Honestly, I have no idea how it works. I don't know. Well, it's a weird solution. I don't really like it. Here's that fabric again. This is probably some kind of sun protection. That's it. That's what they're doing. These are mosquito nets. This is sun protection. These little pleated screens. That's actually pretty cool on the window. They slide really easily. Surprisingly, they're super smooth. It's like they're on rollers or something. Honestly, it's really nice. They're held by magnets, making small pleated mosquito nets for openings like this. Yeah, I like this solution. And here it is too. You see, you can fold it to one side or the other, however you want. For a balcony door, or really any door, it's a pretty good solution. For sliding doors, if you have big sliding ones, these go up to 3.7 meters. Overall, it's great. What else do they have here? So these are roller blinds. How do they work? Here, there's a button on the side, just press it. A roll-up mosquito net, just like that. That's cool. And you lift it up, and here they have a little handle included. So if it's high up, you can use the handle like this, just hook it on. It's just not clear what you're supposed to hook it onto. Somehow you hook it, pull it, and close it. Basically, you hang this thing up. Actually, roll-up ones aren't as popular as pleated ones. Pleated ones are more popular. Well, roll-up ones are used when you have a side shift, yeah? A side shift is cool because it doesn't go up, it moves to the side. For example, a roll-up with a side shift can also be installed on balcony doors. But I don't get what's so special about it. Why not just use pleated ones? I think pleated ones are a bit more convenient than roll-up ones. But maybe the transparency is better with these. I don't know, the fabric is smoother. In general, it's a matter of personal preference. They also have these kinds of roll-up ones too. Overall, these mosquito screens are pretty cool. If anyone needs them, let me know in the comments. I'm going to ask the guys for catalogs, brochures, and contact info now. So share your thoughts. Did you like it or not? Guys, we're now at the Northglass company booth. This is a Chinese manufacturer of insulated glass units, one of the largest in the world, on par with the company Zedek. That's a German company. So they make the insulated glass units themselves. They also make some of the equipment for insulated glass units themselves. These are furnaces, tempering furnaces, magnetrons that do coating, some lamination furnaces. And just think about it. The largest insulated glass unit they can currently make, their limit is 4 by 24 meters in size. And here in Russia, there's a company that represents Northglass in Russia, meaning they represent this factory. They can deliver these insulated glass units. They're already transporting units that are 18 meters, 20 meters, even 24 meters long. So there are such non-standard projects. So if you have some kind of incredible, super specific requests and it seems impossible to you, it's all possible. Get in touch and we'll make such a project happen. And now let's move on and show you what other solutions this company offers. Let's go. Look at the kinds of glass units they make. They can make enameled glass units, curved ones, and all sorts of non-standard things. For example, where you see that ribbed texture, they milled the glass so it would have those segmented sections. They say they make things like this for Tiffany stores. So they make those large glass units over there. Here they have a collaboration with a German company. Skylights in the roof. Let's go take a look. A very interesting solution. Look, they made a hatch, filled it with water, and there are fish swimming inside, and it lifts up on these kinds of actuators. So it can simply rise on these pneumatic actuators, or it can be sliding. At the same time, all of this can also be warm and completely airtight. So solutions like this are a collaboration with some company. They make the insulated glass units for them. I also asked the Northglass representative how they handle the coating process. Because, for example, at a site there might be a large insulated glass unit, say 20 meters long, and some regular ones that were ordered in Russia. How do you make sure the shade matches? So they actually do the coating themselves. Can you imagine? For example, some Lartaglass glass has a certain code which determines how they apply the metals, how much of each metal is used. They take this code, and since they have their own production and their own magnetrons, they order the glass themselves from Chinese factories. They can make a 4 by 24 meter glass, and then they apply the coating themselves using the same code so that it matches, for example, I don't know, neutral 6140, Lartaglass Guardian, and so on. So the shade matches exactly. They can make any insulating glass unit up to 4 by 24 meters with any coating at all, match any shade, whether it's single chamber or double chamber. I asked, how do you transport all of this? There are special trucks where the glass is placed at an angle like this, and they're really big, so they can transport everything. Of course, it's incredibly expensive, but honestly, I'm amazed. I didn't know such technologies existed. And the glass there can be 20, even 25 millimeters thick. Their glass that's only 12 millimeters thick isn't even considered anymore. These things, I don't know. It's just really impressive. For example, they were one of the suppliers of glass units for Apple's headquarters in the US. There, the glass units were as tall as 18 meters. For some super exclusive, non-standard projects, this is just incredible for architects. It opens up such possibilities. It's just super cool. So, in Russia, it's possible to bring in these unbelievably large glass units from China, and you can even have a few large glass units made for your own project while ordering the main smaller ones locally, and they'll make sure the tint and characteristics are the same, and so on. It's a really cool factory, honestly, just awesome. They invited me to visit their plant when I have the chance and time. Maybe someday I'll fly back to China specifically to shoot a video for you about these huge glass units, how they're made, what the whole production process looks like. I'm really excited about it. I really like the idea. I'm impressed by this company and their technical solutions. Overall, it's just very cool. Guys, write your opinions in the comments. Are you surprised or not? And have you ever heard about such solutions and glass units of this size? Because I'm honestly a bit shocked. I knew that things like this existed, kind of, but I thought, well, maybe 12 meters, right? But 24 meters by 4, that's just out of this world. Absolutely unbelievably cool. And Northglass also presented carbon glass, the same thing that our company Thermoglass has just developed and brought to market as carbon glass. It turns out that Northglass had these kinds of solutions as far back as 10 years ago. So this is an insulated glass unit, and it has carbon inserts here, meaning everything can be made with increased rigidity. And here, the window itself is also made of carbon, with glass bonded onto it and hardware attached. So you end up with glass on both sides, with no profile at all. We've already calculated such solutions ourselves and offer them to clients, but we haven't implemented any yet. But we work closely with the Thermoglass company, and in principle, we like their carbon glass product. We like it in certain aspects. It can be used somewhere, for example, in entrance groups or some non-standard solutions. They have fully glass partitions. You can make a door that's completely glass, with glass on both sides. You can build a window like this as well. You can make glazing units without profiles, with increased rigidity, where, for example, 4-meter-long glazing units are joined together without any profiles at all. And thanks to the carbon inserts, they can withstand wind loads on their own, so no profiles are needed. Yes, it's more expensive, but these are really cool solutions, interior and architectural, where you completely eliminate profiles and get a row of glazing units. I've already completed a project like this, and we know these solutions, we use them, and we also recommend that you consider these awesome possibilities. And what's more, they're already available on the Russian market. And this company, they make some kind of steel structures. Super unconventional, like some incredibly huge shapes. Just look at this door, I'm shocked. It's, I don't know, probably about 3 meters wide and 2.5 to 3 meters high, maybe even 5 meters tall. It's just a massive pivot door on hinges, but honestly, it doesn't work that well, and its thermal performance isn't great either. But it's not for a private home, it's more of a non-standard solution for a store, maybe a car dealership or something like that. They have these pivot doors. Look at them, they're 6 meters high, that's how they work. There are some special mechanisms I see, very expensive, unconventional solutions. But here, it's all about the wow factor, right? As for air tightness or thermal insulation, that's not really the point. These things are more for commercial properties than for private homes. For private homes, there are also pivot door solutions, and in principle, you can even make them this big out of aluminum, and there are even cooler technical solutions available. But things like this are really impressive because steel allows you to make something super large. For example, we have a project where the stained glass window is 9.5 meters high, and there are no floor slabs in between. In Alutech, there's a 270 millimeter mullion with a bunch of reinforcements, but the client wanted to reduce the depth to make it look more airy. And with steel, you can make a custom mullion about 150 millimeters deep for that height, and it will withstand all wind loads and look very slim and panoramic. So sometimes steel is used in these kinds of unconventional solutions. Plus, for example, on the Janssen project, I made a pivot door that was 4 by 2 meters. It looked really cool too. And it's hard to make a door like that using other solutions because in this case, it was integrated directly into the mullion transom system. And the goal was for it not to stand out so that the facade would be continuous and the pivot door would be integrated in such a way that it was almost invisible. And we managed to pull that off. That was also a really interesting, cool project. Sometimes we even use steel in very unconventional applications. And this is one of the companies in China that offer such solutions. They can even make all sorts of huge domes. They have all sorts of pipes, posts, facade systems, and things like that. And this is a separate type of product, a separate kind of technical solution. We're in the last pavilion now. This pavilion is dedicated to equipment for processing aluminum profiles and PVC profiles. But mostly it's about aluminum profiles. And I'm just shocked. I'm not going to go up to every booth and talk about every piece of equipment because that would take way too much time. For now, just watch the video footage. But this is something incredible. The Chinese have moved decades ahead. It seems to me they've really pulled ahead in industry, in equipment manufacturing, because the machines don't just look like some kind of spaceships. It's truly incredible, and the equipment ranges from the simplest to fully automated lines for producing not PVC windows, but aluminum windows. Can you imagine? Not just the forehead and crimping machines we used to know about, but a complete line that makes an aluminum window fully automatically from start to finish. It's just unbelievable. And then there are all sorts of complex machining centers, lines, various cutting machines, and so on. And there is also simpler equipment for installation, mini cranes, vacuum suction cups, and grippers. I've already taken their contact information. There's a company that has just purchased 16 mini cranes for Moscow. We will be working with them at our sites, renting these mini cranes. All in all, I think the Chinese Industrial Revolution will definitely help many manufacturers in Russia as well. Pay attention to Chinese equipment suppliers. They really have some great stuff. And I think that in terms of price, they're much better than European equipment, which is now difficult to import from Europe. Well, that's all for now. This episode is over. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, and leave your comments. Let me know in the comments if you liked it or not. I did my best for you. I flew to China so I could film this exhibition for you and give you some useful content. Of course, there was about 20 times more than what we managed to film, but most of it was just the usual stuff. Nothing impressive. I tried to pick out the moments that personally impressed me, the things I personally liked, and I told you about them. The standard stuff, the kind everyone has, as they say, well, what's the point of talking about it if it's everywhere? There's nothing surprising about it, so that's how it is. Bye, everyone.